Hi, Anna. Welcome back. It's great to see you again. It's been a week since our last session, and I just wanted to first let me start off by asking you how you been. How you been for the past week?
Um, I've been about the same, I would say. So, still really struggling to get out of bed and kind of do the things that I need to do.
Oh, okay, so it looks like you were kind of doing things that that you're supposed to do, and you're still having trouble getting out of bed, but at least you're trying to get out of bed. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I don't know if I had mentioned it the last time that we met, but I am a social media manager and marketer for a local brewery where I live. And I'm super fortunate because I can do that from home, but just getting out of bed to get to my computer to do those things can definitely be a challenge. But I was able to actually do that a couple days this week.
Okay, so I see that our last session. You see at the end of our session, I could remember that you felt that you were a little motivated to get back to a new normal, like that you stated last session. Um, in terms of getting to that new normal, how motivated are you to still reach that goal of yours from a 1 to 10?
Oh, definitely a 10. I definitely want to find what my new normal is. I think that it's just really hard because my grandparents were pretty much my parents. They raised me, and I don't really have any other family. So it's just an adjustment, I guess.
Okay, I see that you're still. It's gonna take a while to adjust, but it's great to know that you're willing to come to the sessions. You're highly motivated to find that new normal, find out what you could do to achieve your goals. And what I remember is you said that you haven't really been hanging out with your friends. So from our last session, were you able to speak to any of your friends, reach out to them if anything, or have they reached out to you to see how you're doing?
Yeah, my friends are amazing, and they have all reached out to me. I It's mostly just me not having the energy to reach back out to them. Um, but there was a couple days in the last week where my roommate did come home. Because I think I had mentioned she's been staying with her boyfriend a lot. So she did come home a couple days and check on me, and she just kind of sat with me, and we did end up watching a movie before she left. So that was good.
Okay. So watching a movie with her, spending a little bit of time with her, did it help you feel that sense of support that you haven't felt in a while ever since she left, since your grandparents left?
No, I definitely felt supported by her. She specifically came home because I wasn't responding to her text messages. Um, so she wanted to make sure that I was okay. And obviously she's my roommate, so she had a key and everything to get in. And then she wouldn't really leave until I told her that I was good to go. And then I did feel better after she visited. It was actually the next day that I was able to get out of bed and actually do some work.
Oh, okay. So definitely, even though you don't have your main support system there from your grandparents, you still have someone there that's still looking over you, still supporting you, making sure you're okay. And that did make you feel very supportive, made you feel, I guess in a way, feel happy in a way that you were able to do things the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely felt supported and I guess seen. Like it was nice to know that somebody was worried about me, I guess, when I wasn't responding to the text messages because she knows how important my grandparents were to me.
Of course. So it seems to know that it's good to know that she's there. And have you guys ever spoken again after that, or have you guys it's been a while since you guys last spoke since that day?
We have kind of texted here and there. So like the following day, she did text me in the morning and just say that it was nice to see each other and just making sure again that I was okay. And I told her that I was actually up and I was working. So she just kind of like let me be for the day because she said she didn't want to distract me if I was actually able to get some work done.
Hmm.
And then since then, we've just kind of chatted here and there, nothing too crazy.
Okay, so that's great to hear. As long as you're starting to take the baby steps to getting where you want to be, it's starting to show and reflect back on how you are feeling as a person emotionally. So before we move any further, I wanna from what I want to recap from last week. You did say that you felt unmotivated to do anything, such as your work, professional work. You were losing interest in doing things, hang out with your friends. You were distancing yourself from everybody, and you were just feeling sad, crying all the time. So just to get a little more clarity of how you're feeling, I want to introduce you to a questionnaire called the PHQ-9. It stands for the Patient Health Questionnaire. It's just gonna explain to me, give me a little more clarity on your mood for the past 2 weeks, how you feeling, and from there I will be able to see how severe um your your mood is, how severe it could be. It could be from moderate, severe, or less moderate. All right, so I'm gonna pull up the questionnaire here. Just give me 1 second. So I'm gonna ask you 9 questions. It's going to You will have 4 choices. Zero being not at all. One will be several days. Two is more than half the days, and three is nearly every day. All right, and this is based on how you were feeling for the past 2 weeks. All right, is that okay with you if we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the first is um, do you do you have little interest or pleasure in doing things?
Nearly every day.
Nearly every day. Over the last 2 weeks, have you been feeling down, depressed, or hopeless?
Nearly every day.
Okay. The next question is: Have over the past 2 weeks, have you had trouble falling or staying asleep or sleeping too much?
Nearly every day. Sleeping too much.
Okay. And over the last 2 weeks, have you been feeling tired or having little energy?
Nearly every day.
Okay. And for the past 2 weeks, have you had a poor appetite or overeating?
Um, More than half the days, I guess.
Okay. And for the past 2 weeks, have you been feeling bad about yourself or that you feel like you're a failure or let yourself down?
Um, Maybe several days.
Okay. And then for the past 2 weeks, have you had trouble concentrating on certain things like reading, watching TV, work?
Nearly every day.
Okay. And for the past 2 weeks, have you been moving or speaking slowly that people notice?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So like no one really notices that your body language has changed in the past couple of weeks, past 2 weeks?
Well, the only person that's really seen me in the last 2 weeks is my roommate, and she didn't mention anything.
Okay. So but she's seen that you were definitely sad and very emotional,
Oh
correct?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. For the past 2 weeks, have you had thoughts that you would be better off hurting yourself in some way?
No.
Okay. And then have these things been difficult for you in the past 2 weeks? Based on what is the difficulty level of you dealing with these problems and how it affects your daily life?
I would say extremely difficult over the last 2 weeks.
Okay, so that is the end of our questionnaire. As you can, from what I see is that you are definitely you are feeling uh moderate, severely, not severely, moderately depressed in a way because of what all the unmotivation you've been dealing with, all the sleeping. So going back to the questionnaire when about the sleeping, about you sleeping too much, do you use sleep as a way to get away from all your problems, or like a coping method?
Um, well, I guess it just really depends. So like my grandparents passing is still really fresh for
Mhm.
me, so sometimes I'll sleep just so I don't think about it, and sometimes I'm just so like emotionally exhausted or even physically exhausted from crying that I just fall asleep. So it's really I think a combination of things.
Okay, so basically sleeping is way of your way of you just of you being tired from all the emotional distress you put yourself through throughout the day.
Yeah, I think so.
And would you say that after you met with your best friend, how has your sleeping been?
Um, well, it did improve a little bit because I wasn't sleeping through the day because I was able to do a couple days of work. Um, so I slept pretty average those nights, like a typical 8 hour night instead of sleeping all night and then all day.
Oh, okay, so you've been able to sleep, have like somewhat of a normal sleeping schedule, getting and then waking up, doing certain things like work or getting yourself together. It does show. So does that? It does really help when when you get back on schedule, right? Like your time is better managed when you sleep properly.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving forward, like I said in the beginning of the session, you said you wanted to work on living a new normal, uh, wanting to improve, starting to get back out there, being socializing with your friends, going, being motivated to do your work and in the social media aspect. There are definitely ways where we can overcome what you're going through. Definitely, because grief is something that anybody experiences, and it's really hard. Um, it's hard to cope with it when when your only support system is no longer with you. But you do have a support system in your best friend, and now that you're coming to therapy, you're willing to take the next steps to getting to that new normal. So, um, for our next session, we'll plan to navigate different ways where we can help you overcome the grief that you're going through, and you know figure out ways to improve your emotions and your mental health so that you could start your journey to your new normal. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Okay, so it seems that you're still motivated to continue this, and I am hoping that you're able to come next week and we can begin the process of reaching the new normal you're trying to achieve, and hopefully it all works out.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
All right, so I'll see you in our next session
See you
in a
then.
few. All righty, take care.